the pistol again, do or die. Really
All right. What
here.
do we
For
see?
Zeta,
We
so
see a
much pressure
raid
to
boss,
get that
Sire
2-0,
raid
give yourself
boss,
the best
armor,
opportunity
frenzy,
to get through,
gonna
find
absolutely be
yourself in
sending it,
playoffs.
and there is 3
So they
people.
have to
Oh
come out
boy,
swinging.
there's
And
6-person
certainly with
duel.
this being their map pick,
Do they
must feel like they have a good
tank
read, but their map
the
picks have at
Dizzy?
times left them. We've seen it with
Or is
Split,
someone shooting this?
where they went into it
That's
with
the real
an
question.
unusual comp. Didn't really work out with the Yoru pick on depth, but now looking to maybe contest outside of market, outside the teleporter. Both teams stacking up. This one could be
Here we go, 6-person duel.
Yeah, you can see Huron as well. Already preparing the guiding light. There it is. The follow up with the one-way on the Dizzy, the big contacts, but T1 is prepared. Carpe picks up the 2K with the frenzy as now Huron
Damn,
is gonna
dude,
get pinched.
the frenzy came in. No one else picked up the other frenzy. The raid boss tanks and bullets.
But again, T1 still has that contact. Now, oh, that is aggressive from
But the frenzy's
really
going for it. Well,
punish, maybe even stop.
that's why I talk about the frenzy so much. That is lovely. Double frenzy. One of the better agents to farm up as well on this one, because you can get an ult very early.
Double flash start for Zeta. Just didn't really seem to come through. I mean, Carpe's playing anti-flash the whole time. The Dizzy doesn't catch him until it's too late. They swing out just a bit ahead of that Dizzy. I think they felt with that.
Yeah, looks like they gotta wait a little bit before that swing.
Maybe use that as step
Maybe
one.
the Dizzy needs to be lower.
The Dizzy did come just a bit late, and that allowed Carpe to get that opening double, and then you're on.
All right, let's look at their interesting buy.
Swung a little bit too wide.
It's like, in theory, they can have 3 deaths. They'd obviously not like to lose the Spectre.
Felt like they had the pop
We'll stick with 2
Speaking
deaths.
of which, though, flashes did come out through TP right now. Rossi, he sees it. All of them charging in. There's the Dizzy once again, but he's going to come back. I mean, sure, he's not going to have any support from his teammates, but they're coming around all the way through showers. So this is just Zeta being pushed out of their own site into dangerous waters right now. You see the positioning from depth. Maybe he's going to find
No, man. Carve's like, give me 1 kill.
Of the players of Zeta
I just need 1 kill for my ult. Give me 1 kill.
Gets that big little contact. We do see that Huron is now joining onto the team. One of the taps, but that's not going to be a true tap, as the rest of T1 now just check it out through the smoke. They get that one contact side player.
And Carpe got his kill. And Extra can pick up his gun, so that is a lovely start.
Interesting stuff here from Zeta, but that toxic screen kind of gives it away a little bit for Rossi. He's able to hold on, does a really nice job playing his life, doesn't give anything up there, doesn't hold that angle longer than he needs to.
I'm doing good.
Flash to buy himself a little bit extra time to allow those reinforcements to come in behind him. Zeta, turning up the pace a little bit. That's something you do want to see from Zeta, is change of paces, change of ideas. So here on their eco round, at least kind of showing it to T1, at least conditioning them.
Right,
that,
big buy round
we're not afraid
over
to try to
towards
push
here.
space on this map. We're not
And
afraid
we get a
to
fish
try to take
ult,
some
and we are
territory control.
nowhere near an ult
Now,
for Zeta, so
on
the
their
snowball
bonus,
potential is
getting a little bit
pretty
hungry here
heavy.
with that early
These fish
crash
ult goes in,
from
clears
Carpe,
long, they
that
can
ace
pick
off the
this up,
rip.
and then do they
Makes
just
it pretty easy
exec
to
in a
get
little
into
bit?
that ultimate quickly. Laz
Uran runs
brings up
over
the
just in
crossfire
case they
with
do
Huron.
exec, and then
Now
like
you got
next 10
Huron as
seconds
well,
once fish
chipping
ult
in to
comes
help the
back.
Yeah, 100%, right? Now they got the second chance to use that thrash. Very offensive.
Yeah, and they want to exec on them before they get exec on. And we played anti-flash, and it's
perfect this time. Huron picks up the 3-4.
damn, bro, that's sick.
Chance, maybe,
Dude, you
for
play
the other
anti-flash,
Gecko to
but
get the
Dizzy
ace. I
still
would love to
wrecks
see
you.
that if possible.
I tell you
Izu
what.
is gonna be coming off
I tell you what is like. Tell you what is interesting
we do
about
see Laz now just picking up a
Gecko
couple of
itself
weapons,
and
maybe
just
even
Dizzy
the orb charge there
is
as tries to wrap around.
the fact that
They have an
no one
idea
really
of
talks
where
about
he's
this.
at,
The fact that
and
you
this
could
is
be
a 4
looking
versus
the
1
other
after
way
just,
and
again,
Dizzy
such
would
quick contact
flash
from
you
T1.
and you're still flashed.
Laz seems
That's
very
like
aware.
a new element in this game.
No ace.
That is right, isn't
Great
it?
catch, though,
I'm
from
not
Zeta.
just talking
That's
out of my
okay, though.
butt.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
If you look away,
this
it
is
gives
more
you
what
this.
you wanted
It
to
gives
see
you
in
the
that pistol round with
same.
the combo of the
It
flashes
gives you the
there.
same
And
one,
even
right?
though there's a player tucked in the corner of Octagon that doesn't initially get accounted for, Euron's able to turn on this very, very
Still the
quickly
same
here.
amount of
Steps out,
flash.
gets one. Here's the shots behind. Oh, okay, those second two are snappy from Euron. That's what you need for Zeta. Everybody stepping up and really contributing.
Yeah, because I think that's super. I think that can be
super
super strong. And
against
I
these
think
teams
that's
specifically.
why
Saw it
I.
against Gen
I
G
think
on
that's
set.
why I like it with
Yeah,
the
he can pop off, but
with the
it still
Sova.
isn't going to be enough.
This is something we
Also love this
kind
call
of
by the way
heard
in
a
terms
lot
of
from
that. I
Kyle as
thought
well,
this was
right? The
sick.
consistency of Euron and
They were
when
literally
needed
just
to
counting down the 10
find those,
seconds of this recharging in their head, and they were like, well, there's a heavy chance they just send it into sight
Bit
here.
of a
So
pause
let's
here.
just go aggro.
Don't do it to us.
no. It happens.
The T1 curse.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
All right, we're
Yeah,
back.
I thought it was Rossi Mania.
All right. Same output here, though, from T1.
Yeah, same kind of movement off the start, using that cascade to take control of Garden, and then just kind of reinforce that area. This time only 2 players for Zeta. I think a little bit more wary that this might be a fake. But with some of that contact, it's not even gets him through the tube.
Yeah, just traces him through. Laz also throws out the snake bite. Now they know that he's going to be on hookah, and Izu deals quickly. Euron trying to at least
this is a
assist if
rough
he could,
next
coming out of
round.
the hole,
The
but
good
he
news
gets
is
tagged
that
on 30.
only
That's gonna
Uran
hurt
died
a
in the
lot
round
as he waits
before.
for the rest of the team, but Saya
So,
player is just
in terms of the money,
proactive, pushes them back. And that's going to be, as you can see
they
on the
can
minimap,
at least
Zeta,
buy next,
2 remaining
but
players is going to be
damn,
playing
this
for
is
that
like
save game.
the most perfect stuff for
Yeah,
T1. Loving this.
So difficult to
Triple
retake
armory
even
buy.
in favorable situations. So for sure, Zeta doesn't want to get involved with it. This is just the same, basically the same
Dude,
look we
wait,
just saw,
he
right?
actually
From
has
T1, and
there's
Zeta
no way they're
assumes
Lev
that it's
saving
not.
and he has
You know
a
what I mean? And so
spray
they're
of
like,
Lev.
well, we're just going to see. We're just going to wait this out and just kind of hold 1-1 at each of the doors, right? You got Laz up in hookah, you got Hirodon at the door.
How's that? How's that?
And turns out it was exactly the same hit.
That's nuts, dude.
Hirodon gets sniped
Not on
through the
purpose?
tube
That's
by,
sick.
not sniped, but shot through the tube by Saya player, and that just kind of breaks the round open. Laz can't win his trade against Izu, so Zeta, just not much else to do in that round. Just not quite the right read, and it's a good sort of, you know, sometimes you'll see teams do this where they show you the exact same look twice, and you assume it's not the same
best
look.
possible start
That's kind of the gamble
for
you're making.
Also feels like,
T1.
you know, you let go of the pressure a little bit, and then T1's just still up in your face. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This is what I like about, again, how just aggressive
Bro,
T1
I saw
can
that.
really be.
I saw that video
they can really match that,
in
but once they kind
Pacific
of
with
slow
all
down that tempo,
the
that's when you kind of
duelists.
feel, again, it's a bit too early, but if
With
that's gonna how, if
Polvi,
that's,
you were in it.
you know, with the tempo of how
The
this game's
one
gonna
where
pan out,
Saya says
not be
that
too good for Zeta moving forward.
for a
For sure.
pro game
And
he
Zeta
does
is,
3
you know,
hours
this
of
year,
warm up.
Having sort of similar
That's
problems in a
crazy.
different way to what they had last year. With
Every
the
day he'll do a
very slow play
40 minute warm up.
that kind of bites them because you can read
But
them
he does
pretty
a
easily sometimes.
3-hour
And
warm
that
up.
was kind of like T1 punishing them a bit there. And I could see on the minimap that Jordan was considering.
That's not a warm up. That's a
Good
best
check
of
on the
3.
showers. So this space given up, and this is going to be a tough hold for
That's
Sugar Zero.
mad to me.
Well, you say that, but then multiple mollies for the moment and a lot of smokes being expended here by Zeta. At least for the moment, that does burn out
What went
a
wrong
lot of
with
utility from
EDG?
Zeta
Bruh,
right now,
I
and you
just
can
think
see that
FPX
they
owned
are
them on
afraid of that
Ascent.
lapse control. That's
The
why
new
they
stuff
throw
that they
out
had on Ascent was
the
too good.
wingman just to kind of
I think it would
double-check.
be in most
Now
teams.
they're going to look to
If not
re-hit
all
as the Dizzy
teams.
does come out.
First time
There's the
showing
need
it.
as well to clear out some
That mid
form of
control
control
stuff
here
was
onto Euron.
unreal.
Comes
Whoa.
out, wants to
Dude,
kill
this
with
guy-
the 2.
whoa.
3K.
Bro, this is
Oh my
by
goodness,
far the
that
best I've ever
comes
seen this guy
out
play.
ever so beautifully here from Euron. Throws out the trash.
Dude, how's all his
What's
team
gonna
dead?
happen? Is it the connection? Not gonna be. Izu now creating some space.
Oh my
and
god,
Euron
he's
eats
a
the snake bite, but it
beast.
doesn't matter.
Dude,
There's
they
no phasing
can't
whatsoever,
lose
and it
with
turns into
him
the
playing
1
like
versus
this,
1
surely.
A little bit too late to the party, but as you can see, Spike is out in the open, and it's going to be a catch here from Rossi. Can he actually spot out where Depp was?
Nicely done from
Absolutely
Depp.
not.
Obviously,
And that's gonna be
insanely
a
dumb
stellar
from
round
Euron.
for Zeta.
Dude, how many kills is he on? 10?
I mean,
11?
apparently Euron's going to be the hero for Zeta right
8.
now. He is
Dude, I just gave him
absolutely
3 extra
just
kills.
going ham in some of these rounds. Huge multi
Okay,
kills.
so
but
he's only had
interesting
the
thing here is I thought
multi
this
kill
looked
runs.
really good for T1. Able to take so
Thought
much
maybe he got
control of the
something in
space
the
in
pistol.
front of this, but they opt to swing the double swing into the back. And that's not a bad idea. Just Euron best them. So I frankly like the way that T1 played this round. It's just better shooting. Get Zeta over the line here because the way that they take shower controls, they wait it out. They've
gotta
got the
feel
crunch from short
at least a
and
little
from
bit
shower.
happy this teammate won it.
You know,
Okay,
like
now.
you were talking about.
Oh
Zeta
my.
has utility, but they're getting fast and furious.
There you go.
Whoa.
They've done this a couple of rounds now, and Zeta's had
Damn, the
enough. Get out.
4-pass and push on the
Belong
big
is
buy
ours,
round
and
that
that's gonna be the
resets
spike
there.
down
Well,
as
it doesn't
well.
reset, but it
T1
pushes down there.
Just
Pushes him down
bombarded
to
by
an actual
flashes.
eco. It was
The
kind of
blink of an
nice,
eye
dude.
Here, paper thin 2.
Just
remaining
fast
for
with it
T1.
as well.
This is such a great response here from
Yeah,
Zeta.
this is really, really cool.
recognizing that maybe T1 would try
Dude,
to go to
in
what
terms
had
of
been
like their
working for them,
defense,
taking
they're
that
doing
octagon
great,
control early,
right? They've been
and they
so
get ahead of it, and
proactive.
they just shut
We've
it right
already
down.
seen
Just
them
tremendous
exec
ideas
on them
from
over
Zeta
towards
to
long.
change pace, to
You've
get
seen them
aggressive.
send
This
it
is the
down
Zeta we're
towards
gonna
long
need.
like
This is
fully
the
as
Zeta that
well.
we've all been
This is
just
the kind of
chomping at
stuff
the
that
bit to see.
teams need to be doing.
Oh, here on bit of a mistime on the jiggle.
You know that
just for
Sentinels game where they
information
could only
depth,
get
though.
like it was
Loving the
10-2 up.
verticality
Like,
here,
Sentinels could have
but He's also spotted
like
now,
they
trying
could
to trace
benefit
him
from
through
doing
the
this kind of
smoke,
stuff.
and of course, trace for trace. Vandal's a little bit too much to handle. Expert making some waves, but that's not going to be enough when the rest of
4K,
ZETA comes
kill.
into play.
I'm shocked that Depp didn't drop down off that box. I think T1 thought he would too, because they both spotted each other.
Yeah.
Did Izu and Depp, but Depp just held his ground, and relayed the information over to Euron, able to get the spray through. Yeah, Xcure comes up with a pretty big triple, but just all of ZETA already here at that point. He was just a goner. So nicely done. This is what you need. Change of paces, change of ideas. Now let's see what T1 wants to do. It looks like now they're considering
Okay,
a
4
hookah
stingers
push.
and they just go fast on this. Maybe something to with the Razor. Dude, 4 people again for ZETA over towards B.
Position could be difficult.
T1 this readable.
As well, and he could be ready. I think Sugar Zero knows Depp could be up for a big one.
This is actually a good play, though, considering how close they are to each other. Saya player not hitting anything with the showstopper. Depp does. Saya player comes in. It's a bit chaotic right now. High Tide does separate them. A lot of them, actually, as the rest of the ZETA players going back, retreating.
Dude, I thought there was going to be 3 kills.
Elbow just for the moment as
There's no kills.
Regroup with Laz. Dust settles 2 versus 3. X-Grid getting
Oh
hit
my
by
goodness.
the thrash.
Dude, a T1 really this readable to the extent where they stack 4.
Gets the
Hold
first.
up.
2 at the back. Oh my god! He's so
Oh my god. How did that dink not get him the kill? 15? That would have been unreal. It was so fast.
Izu,
Unlucky.
so close to having
Lovely try. Dude, a T1 really this readable where they stack 4 people over towards B, and then the Raze even goes hookah knowing that he should be ulting the ult that's going to be coming within a few seconds.
Had me scratching my head a bit.
There's no way T1's ult to this readable, right?
Yeah. But he just like ran back, and I was like, "You're giving up a lot of space here, Depp." And then Saya actually
Tell
took
me they have
advantage of it.
another
Yeah, the
strat that they
showstopper
use
missed,
for
but he still
that
got a kill with
Raze on the tank.
Stinger. So like, that almost went really bad for ZETA with what I thought could have been.
That was
that
was nuts from Izu. That was so
it
close.
works out in the end. Izu there, so close to having tremendous highlight reel clip for himself. He's been a guy that, by the way, with a huge push out of showers here for ZETA, I think.
Yeah, dude, look how proactive this team is right now.
At B a little bit longer, this could be
T1
devastating.
needs to hold like a passive default.
You can see he's just marking too much what's right in front of him.
They're having buy rounds and there's 2 people just flanking behind them.
He actually gets through. No, he drops all of his
and now they
utility.
gotta send it, but they got 3 people here anyway. Seekers goes in to confirm it. Smoke to be able to flood into the site. That harbor ult's gonna make it, yeah.
At the back of things, but now question is, Saya player is gonna
Hey,
push
what though?
through
Not too
that
much
high
map
tide,
control.
chase them on the spawn. Not
Not
gonna
too much
happen
map
this time.
control. Like
Depp
no map
actually went for
control.
TP, so they know that he's gonna be somewhere on hookah for the moment. Bit of a quiet time here for both teams.
Depp can get
as it
this
seems like
nade
ZETA
out.
are regrouping just for the bit.
Yeah, just looking to set up from every angle and let their utility do the talking. But not much left to speak of. A guiding light, paint shells, opener for Xcure.
Yeah, that's going to be Xcure finding a couple of kills, but this is just perfect, systematic even. 1 versus 2, side player coming around, but they're just
Yeah,
alive.
nicely done. You ran with another 3K. There's no way that he's got 2 3Ks and 2 4Ks.
Yeah, I mean, Euron is
Beasting
right
right
now. Playing one of the best maps I've seen from him so far. Just so aware positionally right now and so accurate with his gunfire. But again, it's the early round stuff that ZETA is showing that T1's not super ready for. ZETA doesn't play like this. They don't push angles on you early in rounds. They very rarely do that. And the fact that they're doing it is keeping T1 a little bit off balance, making them kind of second guess themselves, and giving ZETA time to set up for that retake. Like you said, Depp goes through the teleporter, and then Sugar Zero goes all the way around through spawn.
Timeout to be like, guys, probably need to hold a passive default. They are pushing every single time we have a big buy.
That basically keeps that extra flank
Passive
angle
on our
open
ecos.
for the side of ZETA, and they're looking good. I feel like they have a pretty good read right now. It's scrappy, but they're getting the job done.
I mean, T1's cooking a little bit too long too, right? Especially when they already know how much push ZETA was kind of doing. And this is something that we also saw at the cup, when ZETA was still on their thrifty round, right? They pushed like 4 players outside of
Let me look at the bracket real fast.
shower here. T1 probably just expecting, ZETA's already bought a couple of weapons. They don't really want to go that aggressive, but it's not really.
If T1 lose
this, or just,
then
controlled reads from ZETA at this point.
I think controlled reads, because they
in
didn't
global through.
like marching their way through market.
Yeah.
I think they were a little bit unsure, still at that point. Maybe there could be a player in market, and they didn't want to You know, they wanted to go back
If
to their
Bleed
kind of
lose,
default
if Bleed
holds,
lose to DRX, I mean,
after that push out through showers is my guess.
I don't even
showing
believe in
those
my
looks
cuss enough to say that that
is
can even
a
happen,
really
man.
good sign. And it's, you know, keeping T1 a bit off balance. You do have a Thrash for Carpe. You do have the Seekers.
That's
you do have the
sad.
Pit. Sugar Zero does have that orbital strike, though. So a good utility to clear the pit. Good flash. Izu able to turn it and get around the
Dude,
corner.
they're still proactive.
So back to safety for now. All stingers, though, for T1.
Yeah, they bring back the
buy.
pistol on this one.
Yeah.
A little bit of a change
so
up.
this is actually kind of good for T1.
Okay, and T1 needs to take some map control, so they Skydog over towards elbow. So this one's a lot better from T1. We look at this and it's like, damn, this is hard to retake. Good news is they got triple hookah.
From ZETA, just kind of flushing them out, especially with the help of that orbital strike. Hold on.
They've used a lot of ults into this.
Triggering the Seekers.
A lot of
in the
ults.
middle of things, and how does he survive? Not for long, as Izu comes in for the swing. Now this waterfall coming out from ZETA Division is turning into
lovely from them. They get some gun upgrades as well. And I think, honestly, the amount of ults they use is kind of worth if they get the 3 upgrades for sure. Really needed this round. They get all of the gun upgrades, so their money's good. And it forces them down to an eco. This is a big, big round from them.
And trying to rotate in from A.
It's a lovely timeout.
Allows T1 to get way too
I thought
like
ZETA would chill with the proactiveness after this one. It's not even that I didn't mind, like I didn't even mind it on this. It was good that T1 managed to get some map control. I think when this ult goes up, they gotta try and get out there, or at least like take long first and then get out of there.
And right into X-Curate's crosshairs. So it's a really good change.
Because when they were jumping out, they just kind of had a crossfire where these guys could take contact and the others could just go through the ult. So I'm pretty sure the 3 here had to do like leave one guy hookah and then the other 2 go round long. So they had some map control.
Advantages they can create for themselves.
But it's hard. That's like a situation that rarely occurs in practice.
Extremely painful for ZETA in this half.
I like how we saw X-Curate, you know, rather than fist bump, he actually looked like he was about to shake hands with his teammate. Anyways, oh, Euron. Inside the 2, backing away. Dizzy for Dizzy, though. Huron's holding on to Hookah for the moment. He's good, crispy on the hand cannon. But there's going to be the fight coming in from Izu. Euron gets pushed back. Depp now here. This is turning very messy. But Carpe converts. Oh, it's just one.
Okay.
Coming in, and that's gonna
That
be
was
Sugar
close,
Zero,
man. 38-9. This kill.
A lot of damage done by ZETA.
That guy got killed Carpe as he's going out. Carpe doesn't hit that flick.
It's not bad ideas here from ZETA. I like the coordination there with the flash from Hirodon. But there's a code right next to Rossi that he's able to sneak into to save himself from that Sheriff. Carpe doing a great job holding the line.
That wingman gave him the heads up.
Didn't matter. Still got the job done. So now it's ZETA's turn. Take a timeout, rethink what they're going to do. Are we going to see more aggressive ZETA here? Are we going to see them, challenge maybe Octagon a little bit more? They've been ceding some of that space, and that's been opening up the B site for T1, and that's something you would rather not do as a defending team on Bind, is give up B site because it is
no luck to T1. I mean, bro, they're
just
descending over towards site at the moment. They don't need it. Last time they had a luck, Rossi got lucked on himself.
On both sides, right? When you hit
I think
defending side, just because they don't really have that sentinel to.
It'll be interesting to see what they do after this timeout. If they just keep trying to send it over towards B.
Get a little bit more passive information with the camera and so on and so forth, but you can see some of the struggles right now for ZETA, where if again T1 plays that fast game, they have other players on the other side of the site, right? So a lot more forces for T1 to play. It's very simple, it's very straightforward, but of course it looks pretty effective for the past 2 rounds here from T1.
Okay, I mean, they got some good ults to hold this one. They force, and I mean, they'll have 3K for next. They can force again if they lose this. T1 looking for more of a default on this.
Like you're talking about. So you have to be quick on rotations, or else
more of a default, and this is the first time we see him kind of hold a passive default. If the ult goes in, it's the one that kind of goes a little bit deeper here, but there's less places you can hide.
Pretty good about this, because I would favor the attacker side ever so slightly, despite it Bind being usually a defender-sided map. Without those sentinels, that changes the equation, it changes the math a little bit.
Yeah, fair
Flash
enough.
goes long, hits one. We got Fish ult as well.
Broccoli on A short. It looks like a broccoli. It's green. All right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of vegetables. It looks like if we're
fair.
And then Sky has the cabbages. And,
yeah.
I mean, we're just eating healthy today. Is what it is.
Valorant's just reminding us to
the coach. said it before, right? That, you know, Xcurit's been focusing
Love
on
the
Xayah
timing on the
and
Skydog.
That's
It's
true,
great.
that's true.
Yeah.
Skydog
Props to
goes
Xcurit,
in
right?
once they
Maybe
try to
his
create
skincare
fake
as well, learning
pressure with the
from,
flash over towards
his
Hookah.
second.
It sees no one, but
I mean, his skin's
third
looking
person
glowing right now.
over
yeah,
towards
yeah.
A
Second
with
is-
the Viper.
I'm jealous.
No,
What
they're going to
can I
be
say?
sending
Yeah,
out towards
both of them,
showers
actually.
most likely.
Anyways. Moving forward,
Got a
T1.
molly.
All right.
They got
They're about
everything.
to explode onto this
They ain't
one, but
getting out of
Sugar
this.
Zero, well timed on the molly actually here. Cooks Carpe to a crisp. So even though there is going to be that reckoning, it's a teeny tiny hole where these mollies just get that full control, right? They can't really push
Kinda looks
through
a little
this,
bit like
and it's 20 seconds. This is going to be brute force from T1.
Kinda looks a
They're
little
gonna
bit
have
like
to come through
NRG
with this one,
bind.
but the flashes is perfect. And
Lovely
that is just
flash
gonna
from
be
them.
ZETA
Yeah, that was an
picking them off.
easy read. Shout out to
Very
Hero Run
quickly.
here.
What
Perfect timing with the Skydog.
From Sugar Zero.
This
and
was,
Yordan.
you know, the
With
NRG
mollies,
game
with the timings
on
of
Bind,
everything,
this was literally
knowing
it.
that with
That round right there,
reckoning
just
there,
on
they can
repeat.
stagger
Just
their utility
one
to
Sky
basically
Flash to
buy
try
them
and
time
create
so the
fake
ult runs
pressure.
out.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of
First
fake
the
pressure over
molly,
towards long
and I
as
think the
well.
Mosh comes in, and
No
then the
actual
wingman,
like
then
map
the Dizzy.
control.
That's just so beautiful. That Dizzy hits so many people. That is just beautiful from those two. You
Yeah.
can't
Final
execute
MVP
it much
was
better than that.
Hero Run here.
100%.
Nothing
Kinda
for
hurt
that
those
score,
T1, right?
scoreboard
They've been
wise,
kind of
but
just grouping up and brute forcing their way into
was
these
great.
sites, but it ain't gonna work that time.
And look at this. Depp went for a judge.
T1 is
They're
readable.
really
It does
expecting
seem like
maybe
that, yeah.
finally
It does seem like
is gonna
T1
try
are
to push
very
you home.
readable
They've
with what's
been
going
completely
on.
ignoring that space the entire
Especially with
half.
how the amount of times
he's
Zeta are
gambling.
stacking. Like, feels like
They're gonna
Zeta
try
have
to make a
3 on
play
the site each
for
time.
that space, but
Just so
right
that
now we're
sometimes
seeing
they've
it's
lost over
pretty heavy
towards.
showers
Especially when they
investment,
take
kinda
slow
looking,
control.
like one of the earlier
Right,
rounds.
even
use
here,
the high
3
tide
people
to
here.
cut off half the site. Looks like maybe a close plant
Like
here.
Uran is just always on the site that they're
Here,
hitting.
the showstopper has been used by Saya players, so
They get 4.
oh, he's bringing down the
That's a
payload,
big
and that's
kill.
gonna be
That's the
Uran
dog down.
Is Saya gonna be able to
Yeah, that
escape?
was like
This
that-
the
that was
one
like
to
their
escape. He's the
massive-
one. That is the Grim Reaper
That was their
tap.
massive ult
Oh,
to
he just
retake.
went in for the jump spot just so that he could maybe move around. And
No
he is
way.
just doing so
He's
much damage
beasting, man.
inside of Flash
Oh,
right
bro, that
now.
was a
Almost
solid
even
attempt.
whipping out the
That was
showstopper.
actually
Not
pretty
gonna
sick.
happen this time as Laz remains on the flanks back. A spike
He
planted
gave,
already.
that such a
And
good
he's
go,
already
man.
been spotted too. Now he's going to be using a bit of his utility just to kind of
Dude,
check out corners.
Two-shot the dog.
Delays, high
He
tide
one-shot the
delays,
dog or
everything is
two-shot
just
the dog?
made to
I mean
make
the
Laz's
fish.
life a living hell.
Wild.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this is
Very hard from Zeta to be
kind
honest.
of I think
I
a
like
bit
the
of a
reads are really good.
misread
I
here
kind of
by
feel like
Uran.
T1 were lucky to get 6.
Expecting maybe that showstopper wouldn't go all the way up to heaven. He gambles a little bit by holding himself there. You know, if he runs down the
Like,
ramp
it
back
felt like
towards
they had
spawn,
such
he might
good
be able to at
reads.
least keep himself alive or at least make it more difficult. I mean, maybe thinking that if he plays that unexpected position, he's going to kill Saya before Saya can, you know, comfortably pull the trigger on the showstopper. But
Yeah,
he was close.
Yeah.
He got Saya down to 8 HP, but then Saya got 2 more kills after that.
There's
so
a Vandal kills.
that kinda
I don't
ruins
like
the
that
round a
round,
bit
bro.
for Zeta.
Vandal couldn't do that, man.
It is Saya player, right?
What he just did,
Now moving
you
forward
give that guy a
into
Vandal,
things,
that's
we saw
not 2
how
kills, man.
gritty
All the
that
fish kills him.
first pistol was. What's going to be the play right now
Yeah, at least
for
doesn't kill the
Zeta,
fish.
considering that we're kind of almost similar in terms of the comps here, right? Are they going to go for that aggressive mid control? Do they have something for depth that we have seen loves to go for those lamp controls? We've seen them during kickoff where he just kind of double satchels in. Granted, again, that was a different composition all throughout, but still, that was one of the kind of main plays that Zeta kind of did at the start of their attacking side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally really impressed.
Could have been more if
with
T1 if
Depp's
Izu got that
threes this year.
1v3.
I think
True.
He's improved on it a lot compared
He
to
did
last
good.
year.
He
His
did
last
good
pack
to get
movement
into
in general,
1v1.
really, really
That's for
good.
sure.
I mean, Hero, okay, 2 health. Excuse me. It was. I mean, it was low health, not 8. It was 2, but still, he gets the heals then a little bit. That allows him to hold that angle.
Nice, guys. Good job.
Depp doing what he can, and yeah, steady as always. Saya is a very
T1
sort of mellow player.
want a
It
frenzy
doesn't
build.
look like it when he's in the game. He is so fast, so furious. And now, looking
Frenzy build, and they got a
A hit
4
here
stack on the
like
right
Zeta.
side.
T1 though is
What's
very
going on?
ready.
Both of these teams just have
There's no
unreal
doubt about
reads
it.
on the other.
They've got so much util on short that if there's any push through there, there's going to be the double flashes into Saya players. Follow up with his raise stuff.
Oh, that is a great bait from Xcurit. So the quick little cascade here actually baits out the Dizzy and the Flash. So he's going to throw out another one
Oh,
possibly.
here comes the retake.
As he's trying to time it, but he's
Wall
called
goes
in the help
behind,
of both Carpe
flash
as
into-
well as
Dude, no
Saya player.
flash?
So they're throwing it out for this hard contact right now. That nade is going to catch Saya player. That's unfortunate. High Tide will be used now to keep the delay, but not enough as the rest of Zeta just barrages into the site. Spike gonna get planted, Excurate not willing, not courageous enough to go for this push. Rossi tries to confirm.
Surely not. Holy, I thought he was going to get a third at one point there when I saw Depp not hitting the shots. Okay, big 2-on-2.
Spotted? No, Depp actually throws out on Lamps his paint shells.
Yeah, and Uran might have owned it around the world.
But Uran doubles up for that pinch, and it's all down to Excurate. And this is going to be difficult because
bro, they flash showers there, they win that.
That's going to be Depp picking up the 4K clean
1-1 though.
Zeta.
Depp, I don't know if he needed to go that far out. But
Sneezing
okay,
in the morning.
It
We're back to it.
Because Depp was alone. Uran wasn't
We had like
gonna
a
be able to
couple of
back
weeks
him
where I
up
wasn't
quick
sneezing
enough
in the morning,
before
but here we are.
Excurate was going to be able to reset and react.
Thanks so much, chat.
And the beginning of that round, that is, like I was watching that and I'm like,
yeah, add a flash onto this. I think that's a different round. Like no doubt in my mind.
His brother does that same kind of stuff with those
Because the harbor, is it Cascades? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. The harbor Utah. The Cascades
Zeta just responds
into the Dizzy is like pretty good a lot of the time.
Kind
of like ramps up and then it goes through it and flashes. Like it does combo well with it.
That's a nice feather in the cap for Zeta. They've got a couple rifles that they're investing. Laz and Depp, the superstars for Zeta. Gonna grab the super weapons in this anti-eco.
Pick the right side on this one. Let's look over on Depp and Uran, right? They're the ones that need to snowball in this. Uran's already got a gun that he can hum with.
Find some picks, they might go for this, but otherwise, see if they're just, considering dying to the spot.
Yeah, definitely not.
Big jewel over towards showers.
Like on 3 charges right already before he gets his own ultimate. I mean, do you really want to thrash that early? Anyways, nice nade though. Out in the open, he's gonna be fighting back. Got the assistance of both Depp and Laz. Does settle.
Uran's just like, surely I get one of these kills.
It's gonna be all said and done for this
round.
And
then honestly, they might just switch guns. Hero run now.
Do it.
Yeah, too far away.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Izu.
Please buy the T1 bundle.
It is a sick bundle.
Yeah, it is. Every bundle is a sick bundle.
Rentan_FPS, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the 2 months. Thank you for the prime.
It is one of the ones I have. And I have a deal with Talon that if they qualify for playoffs, I'll get the Talon bundle.
Oh, okay.
So that's a little bit later.
Zerkin as well. Sorry, bro. I think I missed you earlier. Thank you for the prime. Appreciate that, dude.
Handling my finances.
The Saboteur as well with the tier 1. Thank you for the 6 months.
I'm just being a
Thank you very much, Saboteur.
You should be wise with your money.
That's exactly.
Absolutely responsible and reasonable of you.
Yeah.
But I'm a little disappointed you're not as much of a degenerate as I thought you were.
How dare you? No, I'm kidding. I mean, I have 1 bundle. I'm just going to be happy about that. I have the Paper X bundle.
Paper X bundle is nice, though.
Speaking of, monetary and anything, this is the first buyout that we'll be seeing from T1.
Yeah, must-win round for them.
A little bit of space control here by Zeta, but they're opting to make a little bit of a play.
Lovely bonus.
Flash confirmed what the wingman would have anyway. The Dizzy coming in as well, going to bounce right back and be collected as Rossi is a good angle.
Oh, okay.
One.
Actually drops down. Sure, he's going to take damage, but still survives. So they're going to be, again, quite aware not to push through the site, especially when a threat of a guiding light's going to come through, if ever.
Smart by Uran here to sell, to keep feet planted. But they're actually just changing towards Octagon, so I think maybe it would have been better to hide your presence. But
oh my gosh, he is risking that 3rd peak. Throws out the snakebite for a bit of that delay. He will just back away as upping that wall is going to be where he really wants to play with this one. This is where it gets
on
really
site.
30
seconds. Dude, Sayo just went aggro with no util. Dude, the spike was on its own.
And they're scrambling on this one.
I mean, sure, it's a bonus. I don't want to look into it too much.
Pick up the spike on Hookah.
Yeah, I was going to say there's rotations coming in from Carpe.
Liquid bundle giveaway? Dude, I keep forgetting to do that. Dude, I keep forgetting to buy all the other ones. I still need to buy...
They're just held at the point attack. And again...
Do you have Liquid lost to?
You do have to flash confirm onto Uran, who's trying to hide behind the box.
Oh, I have to buy the Na'Vi bundle.
That kind of keeps T1 planted, and I think off that flash confirm, Zeta should have changed directions to A instead. At least explore that. Because they're revealing that their presence is still there. And again, you might be trying to...
Who else did Liquid lose to?
sort of double fake T1.
That it?
Like where they're like, oh,
not too bad.
You faked the information. You're clearly going back to A, but
Giants, now they beat Giants. Thank God.
You know what I mean? Like, and
I didn't want that bundle, man. Didn't want anything to do with that bundle.
After util contact from Zeta, because sometimes, and the desk was talking about this, they get a little too readable. Here comes the showstopper.
Oh, Depp. Does that
Does that actually
Damn.
hit? That actually did
Dude,
damage.
18.
Rossi's down
That was
to
kind of
18
nice.
out of that one.
Yeah, and it's the one person that can't heal himself, and this is a big buy round. They got to take some map control. They decide to 4-pass and push elbow. We literally have 10 people here.
Bit of a contact that we're seeing right now on
It is
elbow
going
as both
nuts.
teams really not wanting to let this up. There's the flash coming in right now from T1. The push out, and it's getting a little bit bloody here.
Saya just absolutely just saved the round, you would imagine. Cove goes out, no touch.
Here on baiting in the shots, and he is perfectly baiting in Excurate.
Look at little bro.
Down as we see ZETA
How
Division.
nice he done,
Again,
dude.
they're not
They
even
are
afraid.
getting
They're
some
not
multi-kills
swinging on
today.
this, post play.
Yeah, the new
Yeah, you
kids
can
as
see
well.
Once they commit to an idea here today, that they are really hardcore on following through. Like, there is no stop once Laz makes a decision. You know, they're like, take elbow, and they're all there trying to do it together. And that's making it a bit difficult for T1 because the trades are going to be favorable for ZETA in those situations. So, you know, you're either going to have those crossfires that eliminate, you know, 3 or 4 players at the cost of 2 for T1, or else ZETA is going to keep kind of winning some of these scenarios. Now, it's been a lot of B hits. And this time, ZETA trying to see if they can take advantage of that. Big push out with the Thrash, gaining some info, getting Showers control, but it's a quick TP. Oh! It's a catch on a Carpe.
You gotta save him.
Gotta save him, Rossi.
Carpe's body right now. Seekers comes out from Rossi.
At least the trade.
Get the fight.
And then,
Run and gun. Beautiful.
and then Izu tried to save his teammate, and then did he tank the flash as soon as he went through the TP? Guy entered into the TP and insta-ate the flash. Money in the bin. Yeah, ZETA just like better on this map, it feels like at the moment.
Doing a really good job on this guy. 11 assists. He's been really on point with those flashes. In that case, to set Depp up, he's just been night and day compared to what we saw in Asova, for example, in the previous matchup against Gen G. He was struggling mightily, not just with his shots.
Hey, I'll take, yeah, dude, the rounds are fast. You're not wrong. The rounds are really fast.
Practiced and seems to be right in his wheelhouse. So
It's
really
I mean, we're in like a burst meta.
Well.
This is the thing at the moment. It's like double flash, right? So it's
because he's been kind of the weakest link for them.
Yeah.
So if he could step it up,
I mean, it's still good at defaulting. Don't get me wrong, but you still want to burst. So sometimes just going fast like this is fine.
That's how good this team is. You know, they're challenging just about everybody they play. It's just they're not quite able to close it out sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And I like how for the past 2 rounds that we've seen here for ZETA Division, they've been kind of, well, not kind of, but really making sure that the big ultimates have really good follow-ups, right?
Yeah,
the first one was that Showstopper, right? They made sure that they
like
got
the amount of
as
times
much
we're
value
just
as
seeing
possible. Same with the Thrash
teams
here, as you saw, you
on
talk
attack
about how
get away
the
with
intent was
just
from ZETA Division,
bursting over
and
towards
you know
short
what?
and
They're
winning
not
the round
wasting
is pretty
any resources
high.
whatsoever. It's not just those out of
Obviously, I
nowhere,
think you've got to have some kind of
bullshit, just
showers
kinda Hail
control.
Mary something. It's all lots of thoughts behind it.
It's got follow-up, right? Like that Thrash had depth
we
playing
never.
behind it, as well as Hirodon with
I mean,
the
have we ever
guiding
had?
lights, so exactly.
I mean, maybe the
it's
beginning
really
of
good
Valorant
stuff
where people like
from ZETA. But now
couldn't
you have some
hold
big ults to worry
sights.
about from T1 with the Showstopper.
We never really
and
had like a
the
proper
Reckoning
burst
available.
meta.
It is an eco though, but T1 has shown that they're willing to invest those ultimates if they feel like they've got a good opportunity to get value out of them. So certainly ZETA has to be cautious, and you can see they're worried about, you know, off a contact, an immediate follow-up from a Showstopper is a absolute threat that they have to consider, and there is a quick rotation here from
4
T1.
people.
They see ZETA
And
and they
it's
slide
like, do they
players
even
over.
want to go
This is
back
one of those
in
situations
map
where I'd
default?
really like to see ZETA throw a little bit of a
Problem is everywhere's a
fake
question
here,
mark
you know,
at the
throw
moment, so they do
Trailblazer
just
out
want to
and
kind of
then
send it in. I
back
like
off.
this from T1. It's kind of
I mean,
aggro.
this is, you know,
But this is definitely what you can start
so might
doing.
as well just go for this play.
Holy.
All right, there it is. Bring
Well.
it into Boombayas. That's going to be Saya player with the first pick. But I mean, this is just a shooting gallery that, again, ZETA has got the better
Great
firepower.
nades.
And they're chasing for
Took
the
a
kills here.
zero
Grappling
is
hasn't been activated as well. And this is gonna
honestly
be
done pretty
at
good to
least
retrieve
them
the spike.
getting that free space for now. Picking up the spike as well. It's going to be the rotation.
Good luck.
TP's all out to Showers. So Excred going to be by himself here.
Oh, what a
actually hits
ding.
headshot.
What
Has
a
the
jump
ready to
spot,
delay.
though.
He's going to push it out. And this is making it 100 times more difficult for ZETA. They're going to get slowed down. And this is just a test of how well they
This
can
is
really stick up to
mental
these kind of
Valorant. Like, what is going on?
Saya player around the corner. Carpe freeing up a bit of space as he tries to push it onto Lamb. Saya player so aggressive. And the 2 players of ZETA Division, they're a bit far from where the spike is here on one more kill. He's going to have himself that ultimate.
Hey, nicely done from
T1.
T1.
Left and right,
Dude, I
front
still can't
and
believe
back. And that's gonna be T1
can't believe
big
Extra
enough
actually
for
hit this shot.
And
it was nice to enable his team a lot of space as well.
Tries to fight this when they don't need to, if that makes sense. Like there's no reason. I mean, you know that Showstopper's there. They're initially cautious of it, and then they're not. And it's like they forget about it, or they just decide they're going to challenge it anyway, just sacrifice Euron. But I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I like the TP, but the holds behind it are like in these cubbies, and they're just read perfectly by T1. And then Sugar Zero there in that situation
guys, let's go.
Doesn't quite process it fast enough, but you need to push one angle or another if you're stuck in that corner.
Yeah, and I'll just
because you're just going to get sandwiched.
100%. I'll just add to it. I feel like a big factor as well was just how much body shots we've seen from the Sheriff. So, you know,
it's weird when I watch this kind of meta when it is like double initiator.
Like, we gotta rush things.
I do feel like the 4-1 defense, where you just gamble stack, you know that you can retake,
over on the other side,
but you can also exec like at random times and take map control. I do feel like that looks pretty strong on defense. I would try that loads on practice and kind of stat it up.
Seed this over. This is looking like that round that T1 had their thrifty win. They had a bunch of stingers. The only difference is there's no pit anymore.
I rarely see people site hold unless they heavy hold choke point. Like unless they literally like util throws in and there's a molly here and they can't take him. That's the only time I see people hold signs. It's like when the util's already down.
Push out as well from T1 outside on mid. Oh, so you can see Saya player just denies Dab. That's gonna be the fly swatter for you. The isolation of last. They can't push through to a system, and now ZETA, they're crumbling one by one. Euron is down alone on B long. A Sugar Zero gets spotted outside of
Lovely from T1. Okay, is there gonna be a timeout? We got a.
They are mitigating this lead. One more.
We got a big buy run coming in
that
here.
Hesitation that cost them. It's a good timing on the Trailblazer from
The
Rossi.
really
he
big
sniffs that out
rounds.
so nicely and gets a ton of info and immediately calls in the reinforcements for T1. And they're able to
no
get there
timeout
well
on this.
ahead of ZETA trying to execute. So ZETA misses their window. That's all this is. I mean, ZETA could have at least maybe got a plant down. I don't know if they'd win the round.
Yeah, I think the util was too good, right, when they wanted to exec the nades.
The gun difference, but it's still. It's like you're seeing those old problems for ZETA start to creep in again.
Yeah, this is it for ZETA. They got to win this.
Something a little bit different.
Have
Play
to
for
win
this orb
this.
for depth. Get this showstopper.
Fish all
Set up
insta
off
goes
the
in,
back of that.
clears
Right
over
now,
to
they're
watch out. Dude,
really
they're
far
net
back.
sending
They're
it
expecting
down.
aggression out of T1, and they've read it correctly.
They're actually going to be pushing.
I mean, you gotta know if
around
someone's
this push from
insta-official
mid
and
from
they're
T1.
pushing
As you
this.
can see ZETA wrapping around a corner here. Saya player's been spotted already. Now they know what's up. Nade being thrown as well, but this is a separation 3-2.
I wonder if you could have an extra step with this, right? You can flash over this.
Thankfully enough, there is that bend right around that's going to allow
Like they
them
could
to
have
go
an
for the
extra
long
step,
rotate.
but it's still a weird round.
There is no chance that T1 allows this. Still, of course, T1's got to be careful because Deb going to be able to get a little bit of damage in. Huron now comes around the corner. Saya player pockets himself in, and that's going to be the spike down. Both
What a dude, there's so many weird rounds in this right now.
Again, T1 not allowing
There is so many weird rounds in this one bind.
So tough now.
We're racking them up.
I mean, it's gonna have to be.
I mean, look at where the
tremendous
bodies
gunplay.
are. Look at what's going on.
Good smoke could help too.
Look
of
at the
course,
minimap
maybe.
right now. When was the last time you saw
Rather
this?
save that all. Sugar Zero getting it started.
And he's going to finish this. Wow!
Oh my God!
You saw Excrit second guess himself. He actually looked the other way. And this falls back. You talked about the gunplay. ZETA has it in spades
Sugar Zero
for days.
as Molly
Now it's all down
and
to
ult.
Carpe.
If Carpe kind of lets
Former
him get after
shot
pump
caller
positions, it's
here
pretty
for
much done.
T1. Gotta bring in
After
the big
this,
plays
oh
as
man, he could just
spots
wait
Sugar
time
Zero
before
going in
this.
For the cross, throws
Ooh.
out the mosh pit, knows that he can isolate one of the fights against
Oh,
Laz.
there's a weird way of playing it.
Not gonna happen as ZETA somehow win the round.
I mean, it's one of those rounds that's got me very confused for both teams because ZETA reads the early part of this round very nicely. They clearly had a read that if there was a big ult that's one away, if the showstopper was one away, that T1 was going to push for space and try to take advantage of the fact that likely your opponent is going to want to get that orb to get the showstopper online.
Yeah.
So ZETA reads that.
Sure.
Then
That's
when they're falling
an
back and there's some
absolutely
contact, Depp gets
mental round for
regresses
T1 to
for the
lose.
second.
Like,
Maybe
I'm
a
not
little
gonna lie.
overconfident on that, but whatever.
Not because of
But
the
then they don't
beginning.
read
Like
that
when it's
there could
this
be more players
situation,
pushed
I
up.
said this is a
Like,
weird
they just
round.
assume that that's the front of the formation for T1.
They
It's
should
actually
be
not.
winning that.
They've already slid into that corner.
I mean, Sugar Zero is
They don't
obviously a
recognize
beast
that,
as
so
well.
that almost
But
cost them the round. And then T1 just kind of loses it. Where's the showstopper?
holy hell,
That-
what is going on in
Bit
this
of a
game?
miscomm there, if not a misread here from ZETA. Unsure what was happening on that one, especially when they were trying to use the thrash. Probably expected that maybe someone was on hookah, so Depp was just, you know, very confident. He could have just pushed with Euron's ultimate.
He seems uncomfortable with the showstopper today, if that makes sense. It feels like he has opportunities to use it, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it costs him a little bit because his opponents are anticipating it, and I get that he's probably thinking, I can surprise them.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to go for it and get that space. Now you have the op here from side player as well.
Players can ask for a coach to call timeout. Players can call it
tough
timeout.
Situation potentially for ZETA, as they are spreading the map. I do like that. I do like that they're confusing T1. T1 doesn't know where they're at. And
Yeah, this is nice, and T1 are gambling a little bit.
As to where ZETA has moved to.
I think T1 are on board with what I'm saying. I wonder if that's been working in practice, or it's just like,
dude,
it's just 4-1 all the time.
Thrown out. There's the smokes. There's the flash, there's the dizzy, and there's the perfect timing on the showstopper, so he can't really throw his snake bite out in the open on the entryway there of hookah to really stop
gets the
him
good
from coming
planning,
right in. That's
though.
going to be the plant on the spike,
And
of
then,
course the force onto
do
the
they
post
expect
plant.
this luck from Viper?
Euron
Yes, they
now
do.
using
Dude,
the
Last started
secondary of
running.
his thrash, and they're pushing this. What the
Whoa.
push coming in from Euron and Sugar Zero
Dude,
all the way
all
on
of these
to
big
elbow.
rounds, Sugar Zero
I
just gets a
love it. T1
2K.
was so focused onto the side that they forgot that the bend, the elbow was just still a possibility.
Why
here.
did it look like these guys were out
Rossi,
here sleeping? Were they all minimap
abilities left.
watching?
I'm sure he's got a regrowth, but he can't use that
There was
on
no
himself,
util.
can he? 2 versus 1. There it is. Coming back into the swing. 2. Oh! Okay, one more.
Nice try, mate.
This is going to be perfect.
Damn,
Whoa!
that he played that very, very well.
He swung
Mad
him.
respect.
He
He was
saw
also
him
in
too,
charge
and
of
Rossi's
killing
just
the
like,
lurker earlier.
Come at me, bro. I got you.
Gun here.
Dude, is
What?
that a
Reads that
big?
perfectly. He
Is that a
anticipated
big
the
reset
dizzy.
round? He
Look at where his
1v2s?
crosshair was. He knew
Oh
that dizzy
my
was
god,
coming
that's
out. He's
giant.
going to clear that first. Was ready for the jump peek. He read every single moment of this situation.
Yeah, he's
perfectly.
literally aim
That
and
is
ready for a jump peek.
phenomenal, Rossi.
He upped
He
his
saw the
aim,
first
so it's just a
trickle
micro
too,
adjustment,
and
either
Euron-
down or
Euron's
up.
like, maybe I got this.
Impressive.
And he went for the wide swing. No way, that's how it happened. That could have been match point for ZETA here, Paper.
I mean, and again, it's like every time ZETA has a really good idea.
The 2v4
then they
into the
have kind of a bad
1v2,
idea
yeah,
in the back
it
end.
is.
Like the way that they held that initial
Dude,
push
it's
on
a
the side,
mad
we talked about it
bind
with
right
the elbow
now.
Control, phenomenal. Euron hides himself in the tube. Side player has no idea. Gets,
Some of the most
shot in the
proactive
side of the head
defense
while he's got
that
a
I've seen,
showstopper
though,
out.
and I think
Okay,
that's
great.
like a lot
That's
of the
your round.
criticism
It
I've
should be
given
done. You know,
most
they
of the
don't
other teams
send
on
a
this
player
map when they're playing a similar
to flank
comp.
somewhere. Like,
It's like you guys can just.
to go through alley, come all the way
You can't play
around
normal
from
bind,
the
really,
defender
because you just get
spawn
wrecked.
from that door.
The flash overwhelm is too much.
Instead of just kind of 1v1ing, you know, giving those opportunities to Rossi at all.
Yeah.
Like, you could have played that a lot differently as ZETA, and I understand it's a tense situation. Now, that being said, all the credit in the world to Rossi, because he read that incredibly well. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
dude, and the impact he has with that 1v2 pretty
Speaking of
much
the man,
should
he's
secure it to
19 kills, top
11-11,
dragging
should be in the
alongside
main
a
word.
player here who has picked up the operator. So, I mean, now we're going to be seeing how effective he can really be as the sniper here on Bind. But that being said, these thrifty rounds, they've been kind of brutal yesterday when we saw the matches happen. Not this time, though, as side player gets the first pick. Depp
Double hold over
has
towards
his
showers.
showstopper. Ooh, he wants to explode with this one.
I mean, that's fine.
Not
It
really
should
much
be.
information to be had.
He got him
I
fine.
only gets the right round for it. But maybe I think if they get a pick here, oh my god. Saya gets tagged down to 7.
As he dinked.
They're waiting for him
Oh,
too.
no.
That's going to be Carpe down.
But you don't
Okay, now
expect
you
the
can
double
do this.
showers. Okay, they
Yeah.
really do.
Seekers used.
They
Side
really
player
do, 'cause it's been a
holding
TP as well.
sees Laz getting a little bit too familiar with my buddy there.
That's,
That's the pushback. Oh, Spike hasn't been planted, so
that's
they
the
denied it.
spike.
And that's going to be the 2 players of ZETA now
Okay,
wrapping
got a little bit
around.
worried at one point there, but it's all
Depp.
good.
I mean, he probably wants. He can even give Heron the
So with Sentinels, I just need
the
need
rifle
some
here.
time
He
off, man.
goes for maybe a heroic ultimate.
Madrid
I'm
wrecked
sure.
them.
Kirasi
You got to remember
playing
they had the longest.
Oh, there it is. Collateral.
Free away from his
Rossi
ult.
had to,
I get it for the last round.
be the bait.
You got to remember they
My
had
great
like
mate.
one of the longest routes
all
as
good.
well. One of the longest and
And
hardest
again,
routes to get
this is one of
there.
those scenarios where I feel like ZETA could have risked it with the showstopper to get space to get the plant down, set up for post plants. Instead, they're pushing space, and they're
Yeah.
paying the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not pushing. You know, if you have the showstopper popped and you want to push space like that, fine. Then I'm much more okay with it.
Yeah. 100%, right? Because we have seen teams just kind of play off of it just because, you know, that sound cue, everybody's afraid that they're going to get caught by the showstopper.
They were playing all off-season. That's very true. They're the ones going hardest in the off-season because they were trying to prove the world
like every time
that Zelsa should be in the team.
Read on what Zeta's going to do, they do the opposite. It is
Oh my god!
it sometimes works.
Surely the dog doesn't get away with that.
That's going to be Rossi down too. Hold on, Excurate here. Cove actually gives a little bit of separation, but that's going to be a package that you don't want to open.
And you think the side maybe
Players
had
of
to
Zeta
get
coming
one, seeing
into
as he
this
survived that
one.
long,
Scarpe also
and
gets
Carpe
picked up.
tunnel
Thought
vision's
maybe
trying to
he
kill
could
them
sneak
all.
by at the back of the
There's
site.
12,
Not gonna happen
and
this time. Zeta with
yeah,
their
that
advantage.
overwhelm was
Pushes through still.
far
That's gonna
too
jettison
strong,
them
it felt like.
into match point.
This is what you want to see out of Zeta. Just everybody on the same page. This is when their rounds have been working for them, is when they're decisive. When they all just kind of like agree, we're going to do this thing, and they use that showstopper beautifully. Set Depp up for the one and done. That's okay. He dies. You give away Excurate's position. Laz able to get up on those boxes, use that Cove against Excurate essentially.
Why was Madrid's
Beautiful
not a
stuff.
high-value tournament?
Awesome. Love to see it.
Yeah. That was
I mean,
the
it
one
was a
definitely
Masters,
waiting for.
but in terms of
Now
it,
Izu
it was
here.
8 teams,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
the format to get there
it's far
wasn't
removed from the
great.
situation.
So
We still
I
have
guess
one more
that's
round.
why
We'll see if it's
Masters
going
this
to be
year,
Zeta
in
getting there
theory,
first.
means
Again,
less
they
because
need that 2-0
they don't
to
get you anything
better
other than
chances,
unless you
which
win
is
it to
closer
4
now than it was
champs.
before, but T1 can push
So,
this if they
get
can
where you're
into
coming from.
overtime with just one more round.
Yeah, it feels like it wouldn't be a Zeta match unless there was an overtime. That's just the way things go with them. But,
Yeah.
I mean, this is great. Great. Everybody doing the right things at the right time. Everybody doing their job for Zeta. Now one more round is all they need. Just a little bit of a weak economy for T1.
Okay, last chance
So
for
it's a Guardian
T1,
that's
and they
gonna
got,
swing
at
in
least they got
from
Harbor.
Saya player. And again, full force is Zeta except for Laz. Laz is watching for a Showers push based off of that toxic screen that got set up through the TPs by T1.
T1 are going for a
So
4-1.
much area.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This will
good.
be interesting, because
For
honestly, the
T1,
4-1s
that's
right now on defense have been working out
a little
great.
bit of confusion for Zeta, but they're going to try to at least take control of Octagon, but nope, they don't like what they see, and I think that's the correct decision here. Is
Flash
get the heck
goes
out of there,
in.
recognizing that there's too much
Flash
T1
goes in, it
presence,
doesn't hit any. Are
and
they
with all this free
scared that
space,
there's going to be
all
a
this
stack over
lack
towards
of
A from this?
sound and information that Laz has, he can
What do
say,
we got?
okay,
Still got,
this
I'm gonna,
looks
okay, I'm
relatively
gonna
clear. Now,
focus
T1 is making
on
a decent
Rossi's
read off of this.
util. Does
They're
he,
playing
at
so
what
far
point does he
back.
Skydog
If Zeta
out
can
to get
this
in
poke
for?
plant down, get into post-plant positions, you know, that
Repass and
reckoning
hold
might not
over
have
towards
too much
A. We
impact.
got a
We'll see.
nade to stop the plant.
There's a gap on top of this one. Nice little use on the Dizzy there too. Wingman's gonna start.
Yeah, just pinging where he needs to throw the nade. And the nade didn't go far enough, and it was a little bit late. The time pressure is most definitely on.
Now working their way onto Lamps here. That being said, though, High Tide and Reckoning have been used to separate the site as much as possible. That is a beautiful flash from Heroron, as Saya player cannot really do too much. Izu gets
Damn, this was
That's
nice.
gonna be Rossi. Now
Yeah,
alone by
the smokes are
himself.
about to go
3 versus
down.
1.
I think, did they double
Play the
down
retake
this
if
extra
they
smoke
can,
and then
but
they
it's not
sent it
gonna
through?
happen. Oh, okay. Rossi's done it before. Can he do it again?
Nah, it's
38
gotten
this
Showers
time.
wins.
But now they've
Yeah.
got that left and right. Laps and Showers.
What
and
a
that's
mental
gonna be
bind this
a
was,
great
man.
finish here for that
What a
first map
mental
for Zeta.
Yeah,
bind.
nice play here by Depp and Sugar Zero.
Playing with this comp is
get ahead
pretty
of
fun
the
though to
retake.
watch. I'll give it that.
Uses that blast pack really nicely, and yeah, you know, Depp kind of panics a little bit, switches to the shorty, but
shout out
he's
to
got
the
backup,
shout
he's
out
got
to the new
follow-up,
kids in
and Zeta
Zeta. They
well
really stepped
coordinated
up
those
in this
last
one.
couple rounds. Good decisiveness. That's what you want to see.